My help, I shall surely give it, and my anger shall flame out against you, and I will kill you with enemy armies, so that your wives will be widows and your children fatherless. This is the Lord of the Old Testament. Now, I will come back to this matter later. But for now, I want to walk a constitutional journey with the Senate in giving a panoramic view of what our constitutional order is in regard to the office of the president and the deputy president. Under the old constitution, we had no provisions that, like the ones we have in this constitution. But this constitution, and I want to persuade the Honorable Senate, that it does not just address rights as contemplated in the Bill of Rights, but it also addresses fears. Fears out of a long struggle and experience of the people of Kenya. And in Kenyan, the Kenyan people having given themselves this constitution, they were addressing rights and fears, and more importantly, they wanted to establish a system of government that can work. And with that, I want to take the Senate to Article 75 of the Constitution, just to draw the attention of the House of the seriousness of what the matter we are dealing with, which is provisions in relation to oath of office of state officers. 74. Before assuming office, before assuming a state office, acting in a state office, or performing any functions of the state office, a person shall take and subscribe the oath or affirmation of office in the manner and form prescribed by the third schedule or under an act of Parliament. Mr. Speaker, I want to take you to that schedule, and I want to draw a difference, a distinction between the oath of office that is administered to the president and the deputy president, as opposed to the other oaths that are taken by other state officers, including members of Parliament. And there's a big distinction. And when it comes to the oath of the due execution of office for the president and that of the deputy president, which is found in the third schedule of the Constitution, there are words there that I would plead to the Senate to consider in consideration to the matters which are raised in the motion of impeachment by the National Assembly and the charges as they've been read out here. Now, the motion, the oath for, or solemn affirmation for due execution of office for the deputy president reads as follows. I do swear solemnly affirm that I will always truly and diligently serve the people and the Republic of Kenya in the office of the deputy president. I pause there to emphasize those words that are found in the Constitution, that I will always truly and diligently serve the people of Kenya, that is the Republic of Kenya. And it continues to say as follows, that I will diligently discharge my duties and perform my function in the said office to the best of my judgment, that I will at all times, when so required, faithfully and truly give my counsel and advice to the President of the Republic of Kenya, and that I will do justice to all without fear. I emphasize the word doing justice to all. Those three words in the oaths and affirmations for due execution of office, which are found in the third schedule, are not contained in similar words when it comes to the Speaker of the Senate, the Speaker of the National Assembly, the Chief Justice. It only applies to the Deputy President and the President. Why am I saying this? Because if you look at the Constitution in terms of the election of the President and and the Deputy President, you'll find that, Mr. Speaker, sir, that the President and the Deputy President are elected at constituencies. And in that election, they must receive a majority of votes in at least half the constituencies in the Republic of Kenya. What I'm not trying to say, it has come out, and I say this with utmost respect, that the Deputy President who stands here on trial by the Senate would assume that he was elected to represent the interests of a certain region. Whereas the Constitution is clear, he's elected by the whole country. He's got no area to protect. Under the old Constitution, the President had to be elected from a constituency, a Vice President had to be elected from a constituency as a Member of Parliament. This Constitution has no similar provisions. And now, when you come to the functions of the Deputy President, and I think this is extremely important in the kind of relationship that there should be between the President and the Deputy President, it says so in the following words, which I need to read for clarity in terms of the Deputy President. And those are found in Article 147, that he shall be the principal assistant, deputized for the President in execution of the President functions, and also he may be assigned duties by the President. The kind of symbiotic relationship that should exist between the President and the Deputy President is underlined in this Constitution. Now, it is uncontestable, and I think this is the issue that I want to deal with in some detail. It is uncontestable from the record that you have, even from the Deputy President, that the words he is accused to have uttered, where he alleges that Kenya is like a company existing of shareholders, that does not sit with the Constitution of the Republic of Kenya. Kenya is not a republic that is established on the basis of shareholding. It's a republic of citizens. So when a Deputy President talks about taking the interests of Watu Murima, for whatever that would mean, it is not in compliance with his constitutional remit. And the words are there. What he has said in public on this issue is very clear. The second issue is on the question of collective responsibility. You would find out from this Constitution that in nearly all the important constitutional bodies established under the Constitution, the Deputy President is a member of those particular institutions or organs, like the National Security Council. So one would wonder where even the issue of the Director of Intelligence would be discussed in a public forum by the Deputy President when he is the second in command in the National Security Intelligence as established under the Constitution. So I would want, and I plead with the Senate, look at the utterances of the Deputy President vis-a-vis his role under the Constitution. And he has even said that where he has said certain things that are deemed to be insightful, that is protected speech. It cannot be protected speech under our Constitution, because under Article 33 of the Constitution, because of what we have undergone as a nation, Article 33, sub-article 2, has a limitation that the expressions that extend to propaganda for war, incitement to violence, hate speech, advocacy of hatred, that cannot be protected speech. Now, the other very important point, which I want to put before the Senate, sometime in February 2017, the Deputy President traveled to London, and he went to a hospital in London where his brother was admitted in ICU. When he arrived the next day, he prevailed upon his brother to execute a will. That was on the 17th of February, 2017. In that trip, there is no evidence at all that he tried to talk to doctors or physicians who are looking after his own brother. After this visit, he walked away. And 7 days later...
Mr. Speaker, I rise to raise an objection.
Can I proceed?
Mr. Speaker, we owe the Deputy President very elementary decency. We owe it to the Deputy President to be basically decent in these proceedings. I want to know whether counsel at the bar, one, can adduce this kind of evidence that is not contained in any evidentiary material before the Senate. I want to know which ground in the 11 grounds in the impeachment motion is this evidence from the bar supporting. I repeat, Mr. Speaker, we owe the Deputy President the most basic decency. I object.
Senior Counsel Orengo, those amendments, are they contained?
They are contained, they're all here.
And refer to the document.
Volume 4. I am not referring, because if I've got to refer to every document, it will take a lot of time, and I have only 30 minutes. If you look at volume 4 of this document on public participation,